All right, Thomas Liquor Nation, it's election day 2024. It's wild out there, kids. But you want to know what? We've got great wines coming your way, 6 of them to be honest. And let's just kind of get into this, you know. Here we go. It's Summit Avenue. It's raining out. Nick Thomas, that's a great raincoat you're wearing there, good buddy. But here we are. You know, we're kind of like moving deep into the fall. We got a big holiday on the horizon. And you know what? Like, let's just start drinking some really good wine. Okay, we're going to go to the Loire River. A couple wines in the Loire, to be honest. In fact, we got 3 whites and 3 reds. Some old world, some new world. Kind of all new to us in a way. Well, some new producers, but like kind of new vintages. Anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. This is Domaine Ciré Courteau. This is brought in through Grand Cru Selections. And Grand Cru is an incredible importer. You know, I was just in New York last week, and they were having their trade show, and like it's like one of those really fancy events that like all of the great winemakers of the world, many of them are like kind of hanging out, drinking wine together. And it's like, you know, damn, that's pretty cool. Anyways, like what I'm trying to say is like sometimes you just look at back like label importers like Dresner, Oliver McCrum, Kermit Lynch, Grand Cru. Like these are like kind of just a bit of like a stamp of confidence for me. And so when my importing friend was saying like, hey Pete, I really think this might be a great fit for the Cellar series, this kind of richer, riper style of Sauvignon Blanc from this village called Concy, which is like, it's right downstream, or actually upstream from the village of Sancerre and Pouilly-Fumé. I was like, okay, like everybody loves Sancerre, right? Like can't keep it in stock, like, and to have something that's slightly different profile, but like in the same neighborhood, like I'm on board. We tasted the wine and we're like, damn, that's really good. And so we have a new producer for Loire Sauvignon Blanc. Really kind of fun stuff here. So this is a producer that was started in 2006. They farm 10 hectares right now. And this is on a tributary to the Loire called the Cher River. And it is sand and clay and gravel, like no limestone. You kind of forget like that Sancerre and Pouilly-Fumé are about like limestone and flint, these calcareous soils. And this doesn't really have any of that. And that's not a bad thing. It's just different, you know? And so like, that's kind of like the defining character of this. A little bit richer, a little bit riper, but it's still like kind of focused and has like really kind of great composure to it. New Sauvignon Blanc from the Loire, good stuff. You're gonna love it. Moving to Oregon, this is Landmass Wines, and Landmass are two women who make wines. Like they're young and like seem pretty hip, and I don't know, like I don't really know them. I've never met them, but my friend Michael Cooperman was like really excited about this producer, and we tasted the wines maybe about like a month and a half ago. I was like, these are good, and they were just samples. And then I was out in Oregon in the Columbia River Valley Gorge, staring at the gorge, talking to this pretty great winemaker, and he's like talking about these 2 young women, like yeah, they're making good wines. Like damn, like you start to connect the dots and find wine pretty quickly, and you're like, okay, like these people they're a thing, like and here they are. Like we tasted the bottle again and kind of came full circle. I was like, yes, like that's really, really good Pinot Gris. And so so here we are with Landmass and their Multitude Pinot Gris. So several different vineyard sites, Pinot Gris kind of this new Oregon, Washington project that we're excited about. That's the story. Going back to the Loire River, this is Pascal Janvier. And Pascal Janvier is one of Kermit Lynch's, like, kind of like, we've seen these wines for many, many years. Kermit has a bunch of like the old producers, and the winemaker's not like old or anything, like, but it's just, we've seen this wine, like it's fun to just revisit these wines and to taste the 2023, the new vintage of this wine is awesome. 100% Chenin Blanc. On this a tributary to the Loire River called the Loire, Loir, and this is like pure flint soils. You remember back here, we're like, there's no like calcium soils. This is all like limestone, flinty soils, like very, very stony Chenin Blanc. It is ripe. There's a little bit of botrytis in there, it feels like, and so you kind of get this kind of like blend of like real mineral kind of quality and like a richness to the Chenin Blanc. The Chenin Blanc like brings some serious weight and texture to the glass. Like it's a really kind of nice kind of expression for going into the fall, into the winter, and especially like holiday meals. So a favorite wine of ours, Pascal Jambier, and his Chenin Blanc. Going to California, back to the USA. Let's do it. This is their Pinot Noir Rhyme Cellars. They make really, really lovely kind of all sorts of wines. It's a husband and wife team that started off with like 1 ton of Aglianico. And if you are like thinking to yourself, Pete, what's 1 ton of what? Like Aglianico is a grape from Campania, a red grape, like that make kind of the great red wines of southern Italy. Like this couple like is not afraid to kind of try new things. Like we also carry their Vermentino. We've their Frappato is amazing. Like they just make great wines from a variety of different grape varieties. Like this is their Pinot Noir, and it's from the Las Brisas vineyard in Carneros. And even though we know Pinot Noir, but this is a really, really great site for California Pinot Noir. It was planted in the 60s, and there's like the Joseph Swan clone that kind of dominating maybe I think this site. There's one other clone, like the Beaujolais Gamay clone of Pinot Noir on this site, but it's still Pinot Noir. But it's just an amazing expression of Pinot Noir from California. So, and you want to know what? Like when like Uncle Larry is like, "Hey Pete, what are you gonna bring over for Thanksgiving dinner?" I think he's kind of expecting me to bring a Pinot Noir, and so it's a pretty safe bet. Like thinking about the holidays, like it's gonna be a really nice kind of addition to your holiday table. Moving on, we are with a new producer called David Vescovi Ulsbach. And David Vescovi Ulsbach is a producer in Trentino, in the area like that ramps up to the Alto Adige, or like moving north from Verona. And this area is where we see some really like amazing red wines based to this grape called Teroldego. And Teroldego is kind of like kind of like Syrah, kind of like Gamay, kind of like, like Dolcetto in a way. It's all black fruit on the nose, but it's very fresh, really, really pretty wine. And this particular project was started in 2003. They farm 7 hectares, all organically, and they farm all pergola, like these amazing kind of like high above the ground vines trained on these pergolas, and just kind of classic medium-bodied, kind of woodsy, kind of earthy kind of reds. But still totally fresh. 2023, like really amazing little wine from Northern Italy, up in the mountains. Cool stuff. If like your cool Uncle Larry is like super into wine and like, Pete, show me something new, I would bring him this, and that's what's going on. That's what's going on there. So, finishing up here with Monte Secondo. Monte Secondo is a producer that we really, really like for all Tuscan wines. Like they have a really amazing Sangiovese-based wines. They're from west of Florence, not like deep into like that Florence to Siena Chianti Classico zone. They farm a little bit outside of that zone. They kind of just do their own thing. It's imported through Louis Dresner, or just Dresner. Dresner, like they really love like natural wine producers that make really great wine. This is Cabernet Sauvignon that is a little more tense, a little bit brighter, a little bit fresher. It's not super full-bodied. It's vinified entirely and aged in concrete, and there's no sulfur. So yeah, you get the idea that this is Cabernet, and it certainly is. But it is also this Italian kind of like expression, very, very exciting for me. And it's a producer that I have just kind of grown to love. And many other wine buyers in this marketplace have kind of really grown to love over the last, 10, 15 years that maybe it's been in the marketplace. So this is their Il Rospo, which means the toad, kind of like adorned here, like the toad here on the label. But just a really amazing producer for Tuscan red wines. That is your Cellar Series description for November 2024. Like I said, it is election day, and I'm not going to really kind of go too much further into that. We're all different people with all different opinions, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I love wine, and wine can be shared amongst all people of all different kind of political persuasions. And I'm just here to say, I hope you enjoy all of these wines with whomever you choose to share them with. Nick, happy election day. You look great in the rain. We'll see you next month.